Hey, good afternoon and welcome to a Harry's Hobbies video. And in this video, I'm working on a model called Sea Dog Tattoos. See if I can get this up here the right way. Sea Dog Tattoos. And this is from Jason Jensen Trains. Kind of bugs me that the video is backwards. Anyway, I'm waiting on the glue gun to heat up so that I can explain about this and how I use it. As you can see here, I've got the building, kind of done. It's not, I don't have any windows in yet on a lot of it. And so that's off to the side while I work on this part of the diorama. And on the, you can turn it here, get a little bit closer so you can see some of what I've already got done. I've got some details right in here. Little small barrels, tires, just some junk because this is going to be covered with a clear resin. And then I've also got rocks along the side. And this does, the rocks here, these provide a little barrier to keep the resin from seeping through. But what I'm going to do right now is I've got a couple little spots right here that need some moss around them. And to do that, I use simply Elmer's glue. And I take a little bit and just squirt it generously in there where I want to put the little moss. And what I'm using for the moss is Model Railroad grass cover. Now what I've done with this is I've wet it down liberally, simply with water and a little bit of Dawn dish soap. And then I take this, and the dish soap is there to help break the surface tension of the glue when I go to put it on the pieces, on the areas where I need it to be. And again, I put this liberally into the area where I want it to go. And then, after I get it in okay, I have this rather fat paintbrush, and I use the handle of that just to press it down into the glue so that the glue will seep up and cover and hold in place this moss. And then after that, it's just a waiting game. And it takes a while for that to evaporate and get completely dry. I just leave it alone. So now that we're on to part of the next step, I want to put a fence up around here, around the back side. This is kind of a break. And in order to do that, I'm going to use a toothpick type fence. It'll end up looking a little bit like a split rail, but I do like to add the grasses and some bushes and things of that nature prior to the addition of the fence, because the fence needs to be looks a little old, like it's been there for a while. So you have these little grasses and stuff that go around it. So this is simply a old bathtub brush. And what I do is I cut off. You can see that there's a lot of these bristles that are placed inside, and I snip them off one at a time to use them. And you can see I've got a good bunch right here. And I take the glue gun, give it a little shot. I'm going to put this one in the corner. I'll give it a little shot of the glue right in that corner. And kind of swish the fake grassy stuff around just a little bit. And I let that sit and dry. Then I go get another one. Now that I've got another one right here, I go over here to the other corner, give a nice shot of hot glue. And we get that into place. Swish it around some so that it gets a nice coating of glue. Let that one dry. And then we come back over to the one we just did. And that's a little tall for grass. So we're going to cut that down. And we're going to use the little piece that we cut off. And I'm going to put that into another little spot. That way you're not throwing away and let that glue dry. Then I come over here again on the other side that we did and cut that. And again, I've got that little piece. I'm just going to put it here. A little touch of glue. And there you have some tall grasses kind of sticking up in various places. Now for bushes, I have lichen, L-I-C-H-E-N. And that's pronounced lichen. The little green stuff, got the green. And again, I'll take the hot glue. Got a toothpick at the ready. And I'll run a good healthy shot of hot glue along the back here. And I'll take my big old chunk of lichen, put it right on that hot glue, and start pushing the lichen into place. Now I also have I did have where did it go? Well, I hate to open another one, but I shall. I do have some of this yellow long grass, and this works great for, obviously it's for scenery, for railroads. And this, I use this in a similar fashion to the bristles that I showed you. And you pull off a pretty good piece. You kind of get it down to a workable amount that's not going to look too big or too small. And then we cut off. See, this is just like the bristles that I did. And if you're up to it, you can actually take a long strand like this and do this. I'll show you. You kind of go right here. You plug that in. Swish it around like a paintbrush. And you take your scissors, cut it real quick. And you want to space these out. You don't want them next to each other. You want the variation. I'm hoping to add some people figures to this. And maybe I'll go with a hobo jungle in one area and some workers around the building when I get to that point. I'm a long way away from there yet, though. There we go. Then I'll come back over here and I'll get some more of this lichen. Yeah. And we use the hot glue like we did before. Use that toothpick and push it into the glue. And I'll come back later and trim this up so that it kind of goes back. That'll come a little closer to when I'm getting ready to put the fence in. This lichen is pretty easy to work with. All right, I'm back. And once again, I take a little bit of the lichen right over here. Into where I want this to go. And I take the toothpick again and push it while the glue is still warm. And I don't worry about it being a little over, because like I said, I'm going to trim this up. I'm going to do a little more over here. So there we go. And I let that I'll let all this dry, of course. And I may even add a little bit more to the into the water and along here, get some grasses to kind of pop out of there a little bit. And then when you get the you'll get these little angel hairs from the hot glue that kind of will string across, and just go along and pull those. Seeing you're going to be cutting this stuff anyway and brushing off. Here's some of that angel hair. You're not going to be able to, I don't think you're going to be able to see it on the camera, what I'm doing right now, because these are so fine. Let's see. You see that little bit in my finger? Probably not. And it that's just kind of irritating. And I tell you what, though, when it does show up is when you go to take pictures, that those little angel hairs will stand out like a sore thumb in a photograph. And so there we have that. I know this has been kind of a short video, but it gets the point across and explains a little bit. See, and I'm not going to be too concerned with a lot of heavy detail back here. Now we'll cover up some of the smaller areas to help plug the hole so that the resin, when I go to pour it, doesn't ooze through. But it won't be as heavily detailed as looking at it from here. It's kind of a forced perspective kind of thing. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And it was about 20 minutes long. So if you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And once again, thanks for watching.